It's the penultimate round of the season, and after the car breaker of Scotland, the championship heads to one of the fastest and most spectacular rallies of them all, Rally Finland. Phil Bargewell, Zach Stewart and Luca Chiapelli all have their eyes on the grand prize, but with just 10 points between them, this is an event that none of them can afford to mess up at. There's also the name of Roy Scorer to add to that mix. The reigning champion makes his first appearance of the season and is looking to add to his record tally of 13 victories. First to tackle the roads was championship leader Phil, and an early indicator into how dangerous the high-speed jumps of Finland can be, the Ford runner tapped a banking on landing and spun himself around. He was fortunate though not to lose much time or pick up any damage. Court had less luck, who found himself with a puncher when his landing was met by a tree at the side of the road. Luca fell to third in the championship after a disappointing rally in Scotland, and he knew he needed to beat Phil here to have a good chance come the final week. It was a very solid start for the Manxman, running 9 seconds quicker than Phil. It was Iggy who was fastest through the opening stage though, a second clear of Luca as he became a surprising early rally leader. Through Kotajarvi, Luca was seeking to take the lead from the Austrian, but he suffered a heavy impact with a pole that left him with a damaged left-hand side. He needed not to have pushed so hard though, as Iggy's good start was quickly undone.
Please. Oh, what? What?
An unfortunate roll sent him upside down and left him with no option but to reset and take a penalty. Dom and Zach took full advantage, setting similarly quick times and moving to first and second respectively. Just 7/10 the difference between the trio of Citroën drivers. Phil meanwhile made up for his slow start by setting the fastest time, 3 seconds quicker than what anyone else had managed. Reigning champion Roy was having a steady run and placed 6th after the opening 2 stages. There was 0.4 of a second covering Roy, Iggy and Owen in the fight for 5th. Dom's first win came in Finland 2 seasons ago, and he was hoping for a repeat performance here. But getting out of line and nearing the inside banking too much sent his car rolling over and heading towards a pile of logs. Zach had mocked his rival for the mistake, so surely he wouldn't get caught out. Zach was at least able to escape without a penalty. Luca was next through, and it would remarkably be the same outcome. Damage for all 3 that would have to be carried throughout the next stage before servers. Phil had his own moment, but was much more fortunate. This roll only losing him a few seconds and unable to prevent him from setting the fastest time once more. The lead of the rally changed hands yet again. Luca was now up front but had Phil just a couple of seconds back. Zach was third, a further 4 adrift. Dom knew he needed 2 very quick times if he was to have any chance of remaining in the fight. But maybe pushing a little too hard, he was sent briefly flying while on course for the fastest time. The Manxman seeking legal advice against his mechanics, who set the aerodynamics of his car up to fly rather than remain landed. With the lead down to just 2 seconds, Luca was looking to build a gap between him and his rival. But there would be a devastating, potentially title-defining moment as he was caught out by some fencing while getting out of shape. This heavy impact left him with big damage and crucially a puncher for the remainder of this stage. Zach set the fastest time, which not only moved him into 2nd overall, but also within 3 seconds of new rally leader Phil. He was the 4th different leader in as many stages. Luca's win it or bin it approach would be seen clearly through the final stage, as he earned himself a retirement when smashing into a pole. His hopes of a 2nd title were now officially over. Over the biggest jump of the rally, there was tragedy as Owen Citroën landed on a section of fans at the side of the road. The stewards handed him an 8-second penalty, 1 second for each life lost. John, meanwhile, had a peculiar crash in his 206, somehow becoming lodged between 2 trees. Hickey had a very impressive rally, moving up 1 place in the final stage to finish 6th overall. Enough to secure him the title in Dirt 2 with a week to spare. Back at the front, and Zach knew the time he needed to overturn Phil's rally lead, but rather than gaining on his rival, he actually found himself losing a further 4 seconds. Phil had done not only enough to secure victory, but also to claim maximum bonus points through the Bet Noon Power stage. Dom cruised home to secure 3rd in the rally, while Roy was able to beat Owen to 4th thanks to the penalty that his rival had picked up on the final test. Phil takes arguably his most important victory ever, 7 seconds clear of Zach, who crucially keeps himself within range. Dom returned to the podium, while Roy finished 4th on his return. Hickey was an incredible 6th, the highest finish ever for any Dirt 2 driver, while Alex and Blair also found themselves punching inside the top 10. Cam and Ewan were a very impressive 11th and 12th respectively, while Lemons and Sully also earned their first points of the season in the main class. 16th downwards, all failed to finish. For the second rally in a row, there would be a total of 12 retirements. Luca's title hopes came to an end in Finland, while Alistair, the winner last time out, was the first out this time round. Phil's lead over Zach is increased to 13 points. Now only these two men can clinch the title next week. Dom moved ahead of his compatriot into 3rd overall, while Owen reduced the gap to Alistair in 5th to just 7 points. And so it all comes down to the finale in just 7 days' time. One of Phil or Zach will be crowned Drivers' Champion, but there's another 30 or so miles in their way before they can get their hands on the trophy. You will not want to miss what happens next.